Marijuana, scientifically referred to as cannabis sativa, known on the street as weed, pot, joint, hashish, and more, can be smoked, eaten, or drunk, and even applied topically. Although federally illegal, its status is rapidly changing across the country as individual states write their own legislation. Marijuana can act as a hallucinogen, stimulant, or depressant depending on who is taking it and how it is being used. Marijuana.
Alright, so here are some brain and body effects of marijuana. Some short-term effects are shortened attention span, anxiety attacks, paranoia, delusions, poor memory, inability to learn, poor muscle coordination, and food cravings. Some long-term effects are cancer-causing chemicals, breathing problems, learning and energy are impaired, depression, risk of stroke and heart attack, and it damages the immune system. Here are some effects on the brain, a visual of the effects on your body.
Next, diving into some stats on marijuana, starting with the fatality rates. Weed is often not considered a direct cause of death, however, it can slow and impair a person's judgment, which can cause someone to make a fatal mistake. Out of all the deaths in the U.S. during 2020, 18% tested positive for marijuana, which shows the commonality of the drug. Addiction is more rare than most drugs, at a rate of 10%, or 1 out of every 10 people who tried weed get addicted. Marijuana is the second most common drug in the U.S. About half of Americans have tried weed, and 16.9% of Americans claim to use weed regularly. Over 55 million of Americans smoke weed regularly, according to a study done by Yale. Next, going into some age statistics. 18 to 34-year-olds is the age group that reported to use weed the most. However, weed is also very common among youth, with every 1 in 16 high school seniors reporting to smoke pot daily.
The consequences of marijuana use impact several key parts of our lives. It can be seen in relationships and how marijuana use can contribute to relationship problems. It can also be seen and linked to poor educational outcomes and lower career achievement. Some studies even suggest a correlation between marijuana use and the reduced life enjoyment. Marijuana can also impair motor skills and coordination, increasing the risk of accidents. Some cannabis products can be contaminated with microorganisms, pesticides, or other harmful substances which can have further impacts on lives. Other marijuana products contain amounts of cannabinoids that differ substantially from what is stated on their labels. The risks that come with marijuana, whether it's smoked or put in something you eat, it can be dangerous. A first marijuana possession offense of any measurable amount carries a federal misdemeanor penalty of up to 1 year's life imprisonment and a minimum $1,000 fine. So, before you use, think about the facts and consider whether the risks are worth the cost.